The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, and Newey Scruggs.
Friday. It's Friday right here on the Players Lounge. Hi, everybody.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, moving into a big-time Saturday matchup between the Lions, who are 11-4, NFC North champions, the Dallas Cowboys, 10-5, and they're in the playoffs, still trying to wrap up the NFC North. Jimmy Johnson is going in. This is a game you simply cannot lose. The Vegas line has the Cowboys winning by 6. Heckma, explain to young Barry why this is a game they cannot lose.
Well, I'm going to say, one, it's because of Jimmy going into the Ring of Honor. That's just it. You cannot have an L with Jimmy going into the ring. And just, man, for me, I'm just going to talk from my experience, man, as a youngster growing up, obviously, loving the Cowboys my whole life. There in the 80s when things got really bad around here. Late 80s.
It was ugly.
It was ugly.
The economy, the Cowboys, all bad.
Hey, everybody was down. Hey, everybody was broke in the Cowboys.
Broke them even more. broke the spirit.
Yes. So Reaganomics time 10. But it came down really to when Jimmy Johnson took over. It was like a culture shift. It was a culture shift at that time because you got to think like you had Mike Tyson, you had, all of these different things coming all at once. Then you had like Notre Dame, all of that, like sports entertainment came to a whole nother level. And Jimmy Johnson was smack dab in the middle of that, especially with those University of Miami teams. So when he took over for the Dallas Cowboys, it was crazy, for everybody. And just what he meant coming in and the way they got people respect him and everybody revered him as a leader. But just the guys that he brought in, he wasn't bringing the choir boys to the Cowboys. He Mike was already here, but Mike was like a catalyst for all of that. You bring in Emmett, you bring in Troy, you bring in other guys, Charles Haley's coming in, all of the guys that were here, and just those teams, man, that really just set things back right from where you were before as an organization. And so, man, I am so happy that this Saturday is happening, but happy for Jerry and Jimmy being able to bury the hatchet for whatever they had going on. It don't even matter. Just to see two guys put that behind them. They've won a national championship together, but to see him finally go into the Ring of Honor, and I think that for this team to pull out a victory, man, it would mean everything. It would mean everything to Cowboy fans everywhere. That's everybody. I'm a lifelong Cowboy fan. They love Jimmy. Didn't want to see Jimmy leave. So you can't lose, man. Cannot lose this Saturday.
Barry, I'm old enough to have gone to the Ring of Honor ceremony at Texas Stadium when Tom Landry went in.
Oh, yikes.
Okay.
And
I'm messing with it.
and so here it was. Jerry had to work. He had to work to get Tom Landry to come accept this work because Jerry fired him. Yeah. Jerry fired Jimmy. Had been a little work to get this thing repaired and get it done. And so this is just the second head coach to get this honor. This does not happen very often. This is something to be at. And for those who don't know on the Players Lounge, Heckma Harrison's uncle is the great Mean Joe Green, greatest Steeler of all time, greatest defensive tackle of all time. Have you ever had an opportunity to go back to Pittsburgh with him when they've had the Old Timers Day?
Yes.
Okay. This will be Old Timers Day because Jimmy's people are coming.
Bringing the crew with
the players, right? Yeah. 30 years. You remember that, man? When they walked in there, it was like heroes, gladiators coming back, man. Chills. Yeah. People looking at that's Joe Green, that's Frank. You can't, and if you're a player, you can't go out there and lose on that.
Yeah, can't do
if
that.
you do that, they're gonna look at you like, man. You don't want Joe Green looking down his nose at you like you've embarrassed me. I'm here. There is a sense of, and that's what a great organization, the Steelers and the Cowboys. There's a sense of responsibility. You can't come out here and embarrass yourself in front of champions.
No. You can't go out like
that. You
that.
can't do that.
And they won't do it.
So that's my thing. The Lions are here, but if you're Dak Prescott, if you're anybody who has any sense of pride about yourself, you're not about to go out here in front of all these people who put up the banners at the stadium and honor Jimmy Johnson and go get yourself beat.
That's crazy.
You can't. If you do that, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm serious. If that happens,
I'm gonna talk about it.
If that happens on Monday, I will lose it.
Man.
No, hey, look, you can't, man. You can't. When you have greatness that walks in there like that, and the people that have built this very thing, that you get your check off. This team is the most valuable franchise. It's the most popular franchise. It's also the most hated franchise. But it's built on what those guys.
Is it because of the guy that's going in as far as Jimmy Johnson? And that's what this whole allure for? Because if it was like just another player, it'd have been,
This was Jimmy.
This is it.
Jimmy built it.
Yeah.
Jimmy built this thing. And yet Jerry's money allowed it to happen. And Jerry's ability to trust Jimmy when he fired Tom Landry for Jimmy. Think about that. Hall of Famer, innovator in the National Football League. You fired him because you said this guy at Miami is the guy. He said Jimmy was worth 10 Heismans. Jimmy was worth them 10 Heismans. Yeah. This is significant. When you talk about the franchise, and literally, his name has to be up there. Jimmy was so good, Heckma. He left town. They hired a dude who never coached in the NFL, and Barry Switzer, and he won a championship.
Yeah, that's the first Cowboys game I watched was Barry Switzer.
How wild is that?
That's the first one I've ever seen. I was 7 when they played against the Steelers, because he was head coach when they played in '90. That was my first game I ever watched. That was my first game I ever watched.
Yeah,
I ain't remember the Jimmy spots, but Detroit and Dan Campbell, what he's gonna try to flip it to. They don't respect y'all. They put y'all on this date. We're going to go in there. We're going to spoil this thing. So they got to understand as players that this ain't going to be a walkthrough. This ain't going to be just, this is our homecoming type game. Dan Campbell going to spin that thing for sure.
Well, we saw last year. Detroit had him dead to right last year.
They going to hit you.
A goal line fumble away from actually making that game a lot closer than what it ended up being.
Yep. Right. So Detroit's not going to come in here scared. They're not going to come in here, we can't beat them. They're going to come in here with the advent of what you said. Oh, you're going to have a little party up here on this day, and we had you last year. Now we come back here. We're North champions. Let us show you what we can do. You haven't lost all year long. You're averaging 40 again. So, yes, Dan Campbell's going to have that thing set up there. Aaron Glenn, their defensive coordinator, former Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. I get it. But if you're the Cowboys, you cannot lose.
You can't let this slip.
I mean, you got Troyman in the booth. I don't want Troy talking about me like that.
Troy already gonna talk about you.
Everybody gonna be in that thing.
No, they're gonna be on you, and I'm glad that you say that, because it's not a walk in the park, and by no means is Detroit the homecoming opponent that you schedule. The one thing that worries me about this matchup is that we have one of the youngest teams in the NFL. And the average age 25 on the roster. And so a lot of people don't make mention of that. So it's not a lot of experience. And with that, I have this conversation with my son a lot about being ignorant to history, not knowing the history of things. And you talk to a lot of young people, they just don't know the history of something. So they can't have the same appreciation of it. And I know this is the Players Lounge, so I was just noticing that, just noticing the history of it. And I want these guys to take this moment in, because it is a big moment for them, and maybe even like a passing of the torch in a way for us as an organization, because this next couple of years of being Cowboys, you want these guys to lay that same foundation. The foundation that I'm talking about is championship level. It's not. It's the expectation here isn't going to the playoffs. The expectation for the Dallas Cowboys is winning Super Bowls, and that's why people have ridiculed and made fun of the Dallas Cowboys for the last close to 30 years, because they haven't sniffed.
Not even been in the championship.
You hadn't even been close. Yeah. And, those years that you've gone through those droughts, and I think it's lasted so much longer than anybody would have. I know damn well for me, it has lasted a lot longer than I would have expected, but that's the one thing that worries me. It's just the youth and the experience of this team. Do they have that same sort of responsibility for feeling like I'm responsible for the history of this organization?
So you bring up a really good point. And this is where your head coach comes in. And this is also the benefit of your head coach who spent over a dozen years in Green Bay.
Right.
Understanding. This is not a regular franchise. It's different here. And so I think Mike has done a really nice job in terms of understanding what was Green Bay and also understanding and embracing what is the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
But that's where your coaching staff comes in. This is where I think they're lucky Dak Prescott is the quarterback who grew up a Cowboy fan who has an understanding of what this means. And Dak is a very, we know Dak's a really mature guy. He's got his master's degree in leadership and organization. So I think they'll be ready to go. But most often, we spoke about this yesterday, you don't want 3 straight losses.
Can't do that.
And this is a playoff team. And if they're going to, if they want us to believe the things they say, we'll be better this week. We'll correct these things, and let's see it. Off Buffalo, they were better. They said, especially Dan Quinn, we got things to clean up. We'll be better. They were better defensively the next week. So this is a week where you're favored at home, hadn't lost at home. Here's a playoff team, another good team coming in here. Do your job.
And also this, if they take an L here, I don't know the math behind it, but you're basically out of winning the NFC East. Is that correct? Like if Philly wins and they lose this game,
you're gonna need a whole lot of.
You got to have all types of tumbles from all that other stuff
to happen.
So this could be your final opportunity these next 2 games to lock up the NFC East, and we all understand what comes to it with that winning the NFC East. You get a home playoff game, and we all talked about it for weeks on weeks how different this team is at home versus on the road. So you got Jimmy going in. You got don't want to go down 3 games in a row. You got NFC East on the line. So if you need extra motivation getting into this game as a player, I mean, something's wrong with you. You got to get it done, and this is the opportunity to do so. They got to be ready for it.
And that's the thing for me, Barry. For you as a former player, I mean, I think you're speaking to what the heartbeat of the locker room should be, coming into this matchup. Because, like you said, if you don't win this one, then you're not giving yourself an opportunity to even have a home game, which I think that's what we're kind of hanging our hat on. Like, y'all need a home game, okay? And maybe some kind of way, miraculously, that happens. I just feel as though, look, putting all of the pageantry aside, this team has lost 2 games in a row. 2 games that I think that coming into it, you felt like those were winnable games based off of where your offense was and especially where your defense is. And then you look at the rest of the schedule, you look at the rest of the league, and you're like, man, Philly lost. These teams, the 49ers lost. You missed the opportunity by losing those games because you could have changed your own.
Could be number 1 overall.
You could be number 1 overall, and you went up against some really tough opponents. But I'm going back to the fact that the Lions are a formidable opponent that you're facing here at home, probably the best that you've seen at home all season. And this is another test for you as a team going into the playoffs. I just don't want to, and I know that you've heard this before as a former Dallas Cowboy, not limping into the playoffs. Don't limp into the playoffs. You got an opportunity to get that number 1 seed or get that bye. Take advantage of it. Get it because you need it to get an opportunity to be healthy. And we've seen those little nicks start to happen to our team with health right here at the end. But I think bigger than anything, getting a winning streak going at the end of the season that could be the catalyst to get you through the rest of this and hopefully get you to the NFC Championship.
This is a team we all right here on the Players Lounge agree is a good team and a physical football team.
Yes.
Talking about Detroit, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I agree. Yep.
Okay. This is a good team coming in here. Show something.
Yeah.
Show something. Lost the last 2 weeks. Got embarrassed against Buffalo. Lost close to Miami. Win.
Yeah.
Win. I mean, the next 2 games should be wins. Now, obviously, Washington will be as it always is at the end. It'll be a determining factor of what is it they want to do and where seedings and things are set. But this is a game you need to win. And if they don't win, Cowboy fans should be upset.
I would no.
Should be upset.
Yeah, because when you look at it, like we said, if you lose this game, that's 3 in a row. And we just talked about limping into the playoffs. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. People say it's all coach talk, but it's a real thing. If you lose 3 in a row, that momentum, It's a son of a gun. We all understand that. So getting this victory here, because like you said, next week, who knows with the seeding, what you're going to do, resting players, not resting players, who knows what's going on. This is your final real, in my opinion, big-time test as a Dallas Cowboy. Because look at the test they've had so far. Philly twice, the 1-1. San Francisco, they lost that test.
Good teams.
Good team. Buffalo, Miami, they lost those two. So this is an opportunity, man, to not only help your team out as far as standing-wise, but get that confidence on the right track.
So, heck, Barry, just picking up on what you said, you stay right here at your spot, you're probably going to end up 5 if you stay. Mm-hmm. That's Tampa. Tampa has won 4 straight games in a row, and now they get New Orleans at home, and then they end the year against Carolina. So they're playing good football.
They are.
They could end up, right now, they're 8-7. They could end up 10-7 on a nice little run.
5 straight games if they do it? You want to go against that team?
So it'd be 6 straight if they finish the year.
That's a roll.
So what I thought was, hey, now you're looking at like, okay, all right. So, yeah, they need to go ahead and figure some things out here, and this is the week to do it.
Man, this is the last Friday of the year, man, and I'm not going to sit in here with the 4-out thous. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to sit, not the 4-out thous. Not today, man, because I think, the Cowboys slipped up, but that doesn't make them a bad team.
Well, we never said that.
No, and I'm not accusing you of saying that. Yeah. Where I'm going with this is, it's time for you to go ahead and put this part of whatever the narrative is. Y'all soft, y'all can't play on the road, y'all can't do this and that. Okay, y'all don't want to see us either. How many people are saying we don't want to see the Cowboys? Now, are they saying that in Tampa? Are they saying in Tampa, we don't want the Cowboys at home because Micah and company, Deron Bland is going to come in here, and that's going to be a tough opponent for us to go up against at home? I don't hear those rumors. Mm-hmm. I don't hear those murmurs going around. But for the Cowboys, and it's been this way over the last couple of seasons, we don't want to see the 49ers at this point. We don't want to see, boy, if we just get it just right. Man, the only way through this is through it.
It's going to be tough regardless.
It's going to be, man, come on. And I always go back to your experience in the AFC Championship because I think that's the toughest thing to do is to get to the point to be one game away from actually going to the Super Bowl. There's so many guys that's played this game that's never even been there.
Yeah.
And so for this young team to have an opportunity and realize, man, we got everything that we need to get to that point. How many teams are saying we don't want to see the Cowboys? That's my question. Because if we're the ones saying, oh, man, Tampa and Baker Mayfield, they're looking really good right now. They won like 3 in a row already. Do you really want to go to Tampa and see them? Hell yeah, I want to see them.
You want the smoke.
I want all the smoke. Yes. I want to see them. They don't want to see us.
Yeah. You got to have that mentality.
What other mentality can you have, BC?
You got to have it.
What stands in the way becomes the way.
Come on.
Yeah.
Let's hit our first break in.
Let's do it.
Barry brought up something that I have
killing them Skittles too today. Ain't that something? After all this time, after that one dentist appointment, now look at him. Boy, Danny, you should see your boy.
Oh, man, they done fell in the trap. Fell in the trap.
He's just calling me.
They was.
It's brought to you by Tostitos.
It's the end of the year, man. Hey, end of the year celebration.
We had to add a new get a candy sponsor here, right here on the Players Lounge. DallasCowboys.com radio.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch. And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
There is no I in Dallas. There is no I in Hart either. No I in Blue Star or in Lone Star for that matter. And there's no I in how about them Cowboys? Smirnoff knows there's no I in football. Football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks, home or away, we rally together, we cry together, and we always rally cry together because there's definitely no I in Cowboys fans. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Enjoy premier dining, shopping, and experiences from 20-plus restaurant shops and more at the Star District. Check out Women's Boutique, Fleece Style of Frisco, and enjoy boot partners of the Dallas Cowboys, Lucchese. Enjoy New Year's celebrations at Snowbird Cocktail Lounge, Concrete Cowboy, and City Works Eatery. Visit thestardistrict.com for the full directory.
Thank you, Heckma Harrison.
In the building, Danny McCray is, what is it? Getting ready for a party.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Getting ready for a party.
Holidays don't stop, baby. Holidays don't stop. Barry Church, Heckma Harrison, we discussed the Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos, going into the Cowboys game, which is going to be tomorrow. Saturday is going to be a Troy Aikman, Joe Buck game. So ABC, ESPN has got it. Jimmy Johnson going to the Ring of Honor. They are going to air the ceremony on ESPN, so you can watch it in full. If you are not going out to the game is a sellout.
Oh, yeah. I'll be there.
It is a sellout. So if you got a ticket, good luck and enjoy this bad boy. So Russell Wilson's getting ready to get cut in Denver.
Okay. So way to segue.
Off the top rope.
Wow.
The people's elbow.
Coming in hot.
So here's the thing. His money hadn't really kicked in yet. The money's about to kick in for Denver for the extension that they gave him. It's well over $200 million. So now it's about to kick. They're cutting it. And the big thing there you take from that is you can't miss on these deals. Down there at your old team, Jacksonville, they got to pick up that fifth-year option on Trevor Lawrence. It's going to be a big numbers, a lot of big numbers. And so, you know, what type of deal do you give a guy? So now we're talking about $50 million deals for these quarterbacks.
That's going to be at the basement, almost.
Dak Prescott is got to get his contract redone. The cap number is so high next year, they've got to redo the contract. Yeah. So now you're talking about Dak when people were like, oh, my gosh, he's not worth $40 million.
Never 40. You come
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
It is not my
Fat Joe in the building.
It is and went up $10 million. It's going to be $50 million. So
might touch 60.
So you're going to have Dak Prescott getting 50. CeeDee Lamb is due for a new deal. CeeDee Lamb is not coming in here trying to take the average price. CeeDee Lamb want to get paid.
Yeah, that's fast.
You got Micah Parsons who's got to get paid.
Yeah,
he's coming up. Tyler Biotish is coming up. Trayvon Diggs already got paid.
Yeah.
They actually got a good deal there.
They did.
They got a nice deal there. So
Deron Bland.
How far is Tyler Smith out?
Tyler still got
he got 2 or 3
2 years.
He got 2 years. Okay,
Yeah, 2
okay.
years,
He got a little man.
Bland, same thing. 2 years.
2 years left.
2 years. So, but Tyler Smith, you're going to get 3 because he was a first round.
Oh, so he'll get that 5th-year option.
Yeah,
all right, so you got.
And that's the only reason why I bring up Bland is that he doesn't have.
Yes, he's 2 years. He's 2 years away. So, so yes, paying Dak Prescott, as all these teams who decide to pay their quarterbacks, such as Russell Wilson, you're now going to be limited as to what you can do with the rest of your roster. And the Cowboys are at that point in time where they've got to sit around here and think about, okay, what do we do? We've spoken about Michael Gallup, who got paid. Michael Gallup is clearly your number 3 receiver here.
4. Yeah, might be Bo. Yeah. 3, 4. Because Tolbert done slid in there a little bit.
Ferguson, Cooks.
You can't keep paying him over $10 million.
You can't do that.
You simply cannot do that. It's not justifiable when you look at the economics here. So you've got that. Tyler Biotish, your center, is up.
Pro Bowler.
What are you going to?
Pro Bowler.
What are you going to pay him? Versus, do you decide to say, let's go into the draft or let's bring in a free? I mean, these are the kinds of decisions you've got to make here, because once you pay Dak, and you have to pay him because he's got that high cap number, so you got to get that number down. So the best way to do it is to go ahead and extend him. $50 million. It's going to cost you. It's the going price, guys.
And you got to do it. If you're the organization, I think you have to bring that guy back. Because, I mean, not only has he had one of his best years, in the National Football League this year, he's a leader of your team. And to me, he's one of the best leaders that I've ever been around. Got to play with him 1 year, and he's one of the best leaders I've ever been around. So you got to bring a guy back like that. But that's what makes, in my opinion, that's what makes this year so important, and why you got to get it done this year. Because when you look at it, like you just mentioned, down the road, this team might look totally different. When you got the, CeeDee Lambs, the Micah Parsons, and the Daks to pay, the pieces that made this team as good as they are now, you might not see those guys down the road.
No.
So, to me, Dak Prescott is a guy that he can make, lesser players better than what they call it, a multiplier. He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys to me that, you may not have the greatest of options out there, but he can make those guys better than what they are. So in that regard, I've got to make that decision to pay that man. I mean, at least my opinion, you got to pay that man, but it's going to hurt the rest of your team around you. And that's why this year is so important to get the job done.
We said that when he was coming up on the end of the rookie deal. Like, he's about to get paid. Got to make it count now. And so, but you have to pay him.
And then Jerry hit him with the friend zone.
Hold on, player.
Hold on, player.
But you're going to have to pay.
Yeah.
We're in agreement.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
He's coming. I'm imagining when the MVP voting is done, he finishes top 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think anyone should have an issue giving a contract extension to a quarterback who finished in the MVP race in the top 5. This is what the going price is going to be.
Yeah,
we'll see where they settle at it, but it's going to be, just look for $50 million. I mean, Kyler Murray out here making 46.
Yeah, so
This is what the quarterback market is. You now need Will McClay to work a lot of magic.
Well, the uncomfortable part about this conversation is when I think about quarterbacks in the NFL, I think about them as like Fortune 100 companies. You have your top guys and then on down from there. Dak has always been somewhere around the top in those numbers. Obviously, last year he gets scrutinized more than any other quarterback because of those turnovers. But I think that what he's shown you throughout the years, coming back from injury, just making himself better each and every year, it's hard for me to have a conversation with anybody that says, don't pay him. Mm-hmm. Like, it's almost like even in Denver, even with everything that's going on with Russ, I'm saying for who, for what?
Yeah, what you gonna
do now? Yeah. And it's like one of those bad relationships. You ever been in a bad relationship? You know a good one when you're in one. Mm-hmm. And I think this is a great relationship for the Dallas Cowboys, especially when you have a guy of the status of Dak Prescott. He represents this organization very well. But I think the thing about Dak now is he's played so nice for so many years, is that he has to go out and win it. To put no question whether he should be considered as a Fortune 100 amongst the other quarterbacks that are out there. Because when you look at the other guys, the guys that you just mentioned, they don't have Super Bowl championships. They don't have some of these other quarterbacks. Russ does. He has one long time ago. But the Josh Allens of the world, the Kyler Murrays of the world, they don't.
Herberts.
They don't. They've never won a Super Bowl. And so at this point, when Dak is coming back, and you recognize, especially with Micah's contract coming up, CD's contract coming up, you're going to have to pay a lot of guys. And if you miss this, if you kick the can down the road like they did in the past to when it was $30 million, they could have got him at 30, or it was like 29, like Goff and Wentz was like 27, 28. And it was like, nah, we'll just wait. And then it ended up costing you a lot more than that. This is that opportunity to obviously make it right, but then also sign the other pieces. And all the other noise that's associated with, man, you don't need that. You could go Trey Lance. You could do that. To me is just crazy. That's crazy to me, because that's why I say for who, for what. Yeah. Who are you going to make this decision on? And I think that Dak is the guy for the Dallas Cowboys going forward until he retires or they get tired of one another. He is the guy to lead this organization to a Super Bowl.
I love what they did with Trey Lance, and I say that from the perspective of any good team should constantly be trying to make sure they are developing someone at that position. Because we just don't know in a 17-game schedule. I mean, look how many starting quarterbacks have missed time this year.
Look at the Jets.
The Jets, I mean, just look at the game we've got on right behind us here in the studio. We got the Browns and the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they now? All on 4, 3? They're all on at least 3 different 4 starting quarterbacks. So I just think if you're running an organization today and you're not sitting around here having some young player in the queue that you're trying to work with to say, okay, you may be next at some point, even if it's a week or 2 weeks. Look at Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota, okay, 13-win team last year. Kirk Cousins gets hurt. That thing is falling out of the bottom there. So to me, Dak Prescott, yeah, he's here, but you need to be having somebody right behind you working there. And I think Mike's done a great job of how they worked with Cooper Rush. That Cooper Rush could come in and win some games, and they didn't fall off. And Trey Lance needs to be that next guy. But you've got to do that in this league because we've just seen so many clubs that have been decimated. Even the Rams. I mean, the Rams. Stafford's missed time this year.
And they look terrible.
Right. They haven't, so San Francisco is the luckiest group of folks we've ever seen.
No, I mean, but no, here's I'm not even being sarcastic. I have no idea who the backup quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs is. I don't know him. I don't have any idea who he is. I don't care who he is. And you look around the league, and I think a lot of people would feel the same way when you're talking about the upper echelon of quarterbacks. The rules that they've stipulated and put in place have protected quarterbacks, and we know it. I mean, the chances are it's really just really bad luck when you get your quarterback hurt, and that's why when they bought Trey Lance, it was a head scratcher for me because I would have liked the linebacker. I would have liked the linebacker because I think that Cooper Rush had already shown you that I could be a quality backup, and I think when you look at the teams like Cleveland, they have the defense and all that, but then their main guy gets hurt, the backup guy gets hurt, and then you have to go out and get a Joe Flacco that's on the street that fits perfectly to your scheme. That just doesn't happen. A lot of times when your main guy goes down, that's it. You're just planning for next year.
So I'm just going to go down the list here. All right, so in the division, Jalen Hurts, been fine. Dak Prescott, been fine, but we saw a couple years ago against the Giants, broke leg. Washington, that's been a mess. Detroit been able to get by with. They've been able to get by with golf this year. Fine. Minnesota, homeboys down. Green Bay been lucky with Jordan Love here. Chicago, Fields has missed time this year.
Yes,
and probably may not be there next year. Go down to Tampa Bay. It's been interesting, but Baker Mayfield may end up being the comeback player of the year. Atlanta, mess. New Orleans, Derek Carr,
he's terrible.
Mess.
He was been bad this year.
Carolina,
come on,
some regrets going on around there. San Francisco,
he got spud whipped.
Lucky because Jimmy Garoppolo didn't work out. Trey Lance, Brock Purdy came through for. Rams, Stafford missed time this year. Seattle.
Geno
missed some time, but also another unsettled situation. But Geno missed time this year. Arizona, Kyler Murray came in hurt. Playing a little bit now. So Miami, Tua, boy, he stayed healthy this year, but the last couple of years with him have been.
They've been worried about it. Yep. Every time he takes a hit.
He's like, ooh.
Every time.
Hold your breath. Buffalo, you got the horse of Josh Allen. He's held up for it.
He's adorable.
The Jets, we've seen that. New England, everybody getting fired.
They didn't even need nobody hurt. They just.
Baltimore, Lamar Jackson this year, knock on wood, but we've seen in the past he's had some issues. Cleveland, we already went through that. Pittsburgh, your quarterback has been bad, he's a mess. Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, he's out for the year. Jacksonville, that's not a good situation right now. He may not even play this year. Talk about Trevor Lawrence. Indianapolis, you spent that first-round pick on Richardson. He's out gone for the year. Houston, C.J. Stroud, who's having a fantastic year. Looks like he may play this week, but he's missed the past couple games because of concussion. Tennessee,
mess.
But they're going with the dude they drafted here. Kansas City, got the unicorn, Patrick Mahomes there. Las Vegas, Jimmy G.
Mess.
That's a mess. That's big time.
Denver, Russ.
Mess.
Done. Your team, the Chargers.
We a mess. We all over the
place. But I think
Herbert's hurt.
But Herbert is your guy.
He's your guy. But just that premise in my mind of just developing someone because of the we don't know. Yes, Herbert's the guy. Joe Burrow's the guy. But man, Cincinnati's done a nice job with that kid Jake Browning from Washington that they have developed, and to the point, I'm not expecting him to compete with Joe Burrow at any point in time.
No,
but you now have a commodity. Almost in a sense, what we saw Josh Dobbs get traded for draft capital.
Absolutely, yes.
That makes sense.
And so that's my thing of it, is because also going back into where McCarthy came from in Green Bay, where Ron Wolf was always drafting guys. So they were able to use a 5 on Hasselbeck and move him for a 2, and move Mark Brunell, and move Aaron Brooks, who Mike McCarthy ended up working with and won a game, the first ever New Orleans playoff game down there. I just think if you're an organization, because of how much capital you can have with a quarterback, to be constantly working with one, and if you cannot use a first-round pick,
even better.
Even better.
No, I mean, you bring up a great point, and when you go through the list of those teams and you talk about, that's what I'm saying, like the Fortune 100 quarterbacks, those guys, you almost like put them on a separate list. And I think Dak has shown you his durability over the years, except for like breaking his leg in half, which was a freak accident, and he comes right back from it, and he's been been durable. Thumb 4 games, but then you have a backup in Cooper Rush that you've developed, and to be that guy, he fills in nicely, and I felt good there. All I'm saying when I bring up the whole Trey Lance thing is that we've needed so much more, especially at the linebacker position, at other, and that's why I spotlight that, because I thought you already had it, and so I say pay Dak. Whatever you planning on with my man Trey, whatever. If he's a token for another trade down,
maybe a trade piece.
I'm okay with that. I don't have no problem at all with that. But the focus has to be on Dak. He's giving you everything. He's shown you everything, especially on the field. And man, off the field, Walter Payton, Man of the Year. Come on, man. There's nothing that you could say about Dak Prescott. If you hating on Dak, you're just a hater. That's it. That's all it is. And if he had the interceptions, his whole career hadn't been predicated and based off of him throwing interceptions. He has 30 touchdowns, 7 interceptions this year, and by far he's going to have one of his best statistical years as far as throwing touchdowns if it all doesn't end tonight, basically.
I'm a big Bill Walsh believer, and I remember, keep in mind, man, at this point in time, won 2 Super Bowls with Joe Montana, and he goes around the room to everybody and says, hey guys, we have an opportunity to trade for Steve Young. And he asked everybody, around the room, to ask all his coaches. Everybody raise your hand who's in favor. Nobody raised their hand.
And he won't do it anyway.
And then he said, yeah, he's coming in tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
Coming in anyways.
Just so you know.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
And so there he was using capital, despite having an MVP quarterback who's won 2 Super Bowls. Eventually, everybody saw what happened. I'm not saying that Trey's that guy, but what I want is insurance. I just believe in the insurance because I can do whatever I want to do with it. Remember when Jerry traded a 3 for the dude down in Houston who was with Tom Brady at Michigan, Drew Henson.
Oh my God!
So, I remember him.
So
God,
Houston used a 6. They used a 6, flipping to Jerry for a 3. If Trey Lance ends up starting a couple preseason games and looks good and can become whatever somebody thinks, and you can flip him for more, then doggone it, flip him. But having him here, seeing what he had, to me, in this league with all these issues, if we see this many issues of teams this year, we're going to see it again next year. It's not going to go anywhere with these 17 games.
Yeah.
If Mike McCarthy and Scott Tolzien can develop Trey Lance into seeing us, if we can see something next year, who knows?
Might get something for him.
Because you've got what's the easiest way to get a 2? Quarterback. Yeah. You can trade Justin Fields right now. If Chicago trades him, he won't get a 1. He'll get a 2.
He'll get a 2.
Get a 2.
If he get a 2, Trey gonna get you about a 6.
Trey 23.
Exactly.
He's 23 years old.
Hey, youngster.
So to me, I would bet on the long play. All right, we got a break here. We're running out of time. We're talking about this stuff here, but ultimately, back to the whole thing. We all agree that you got to pay Dak. He's going to get $50 million. It is what
Y'all
it
still
is.
for that same wave? If he doesn't make a run, has a similar run as he did in the playoffs last year?
You have
for who, for what?
You got no option.
Okay.
That's the thing. You put yourself in no option. Your option of Trey Lance is not something I'd be willing to bet on right now. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Barry Church, Heckman Harrison. I'm Newey Scruggs. Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos on DallasCowboys.com radio.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch. And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Get the coverage you need this football season with Dallas Cowboys cold weather gear. Visit the nearest pro shop or log on to shop.dallascowboys.com. A Fanatics experience and score knit hats, hoodies, jackets, and more.
Thank you, Heckman Harrison. Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos.
It's cold in the D.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to warm up tomorrow, though.
Gonna be nice tomorrow?
Yeah, you warm up tomorrow.
Jimmy going, it's gonna be a good day tomorrow.
Good day. Be a good day.
Day.
Heckman Harrison, Barry Church. I'm new coach. Barry, Barry, you're gonna be at the game?
Yeah, I'll be there. Man.
Hopefully you'll be inside.
Yeah. We're gonna be on the field. You know, we're gonna do the thing from the field. I ain't messing with that cold. Yeah, I ain't messing.
You know that man don't play around.
I ain't messing with the cold. Inside, we good.
I always just see the guys out there. I'm like, man, no. Because either those preseason games and doing it's hot,
Scorching.
No part to that.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, don't put Barry out in the heat, y'all.
Look, I'm gonna start. That sweat gonna just be like,
need that John Thompson. Big John Thompson.
Man, my whole shirt gonna be drenched. I ain't messing.
Great John Thompson.
I ain't messing with it.
By the way, get his book. His book is tremendous. Yeah. It is one of the better books I've ever read. I love the honesty.
A great man. Got an opportunity to meet him. So.
I did too, man. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. It was pretty good. I mean, it was. You too young to remember. You too young.
Wow. Jeez, man.
Was his name John Thompson?
John Thompson. You ever heard Georgetown basketball?
Oh yeah, the big brother with the glasses. Yeah. Okay.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. He coached Iverson and all them dudes. Yeah, I got you. But
big
as far
brother
as
with the
history,
glasses.
that's why. That's who? Oh, you talking about my? Okay, I got you.
It's my fault, man. It's my fault. I'm sorry. Heckman, I forget sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta know.
These 80s babies. It's the 80s babies.
Late 80s too. At that, late 80s.
He coached Iverson.
Yeah, that's it.
He coached Iverson.
Not Alonzo Mourning.
Not Patrick Ewing.
I gotta remember.
Not the greatest player of the Georgetown.
I wasn't around.
You're right.
I wasn't alive.
Dude, you're right. You're right.
This, man.
Let's play. Hey, Coach Iverson.
That's good.
Yeah. Mutombo.
He was with Iverson in Philly. That's how I know Mutombo. Y'all gotta remember. This is when I came up. When Mutombo was in Philly.
Iverson had no cornrows under John Thompson.
Nah, he had the fade or the little box fade.
The little Caesar.
Not a lot.
That's crazy too.
All right, we gotta do the pod pick here. So who do we think will score the first touchdown for either team tomorrow? Church, who you got?
I got Montgomery.
David Montgomery.
Yeah, I got David Montgomery, man.
Okay.
A little goal line punch.
I'm going Tony Pollard.
Give me Dak Prescott.
Quarantine.
All right.
Dak Prescott
take it on himself.
using the leg. Yes, Dak using the legs, getting it on in there, setting the tone.
Over
That's
the
what's gotta
shoulder,
happen.
baby.
When he's 77 tomorrow, 77.
Is he a go? Or does anybody know?
We think he's got a shot.
Have you talked to him?
Have not.
Oh, man. Here we go, man. Things going down here when you don't talk to
It'll
him.
happen
Well, it's not the mystery's not in it.
It'll happen
Something ain't
tomorrow.
right,
We'll
man.
talk to it tomorrow.
Come on, Sam.
You be on the field.
So y'all be there?
We gonna talk to him.
If I see him in a t-shirt, I'm like, oh, man. Sam.
No, he'll be in a t-shirt and he'll be in his warm-up pants.
Oh, that's right. Okay, all right.
That's how he is. So he's gonna be
T-shirt with the neck roll, baby. Sam.
when you look at it, hey man, you gotta go. By the way, Amari Cooper did not play last night. I know
No, he
Browns
didn't.
won. He did not play last night.
What's up with that?
I'm sorry. I got so burned up on the Amari Cooper text when he had the 200-something yards. But we could have had Amari and we could have CD Lamb. No, you could not.
No, you couldn't.
Because Amari Cooper got a new deal from the Browns. Amari Cooper was not going to still be making $20 million. That's the other thing. He's not still going to be making $20 million. Okay? It just wasn't going to happen. They moved on. I personally would have taken Cooper over Gallup, but that's me.
Yeah.
It was, let that man do what he's doing in Cleveland. But I don't sit around here like people, I could have had these two guys. No, you had these two guys.
Didn't work.
He didn't want to pay the money. He didn't want to keep him there anymore, so they moved on. And he moved on. He was a great player for Cleveland, and I'm happy for Cooper.
He's doing his thing.
Happy for him.
We got to get this win tomorrow, fellas. Dang. It's a gotta have.
Gallop over 100.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know why not worry about it? Because doggone, they're going to get shamed if they don't. You know, Michael Irvin looking down at you.
What
y'all doing? Jimmy, go talk to them.
Because he definitely be here.
Yeah.
He'll definitely be here.
Charles Haley.
Oh,
y'all look
man. He going to be in the locker room.
Oh, yeah. Like I say, they might bust up in the locker room at halftime.
They might.
Yeah.
Ain't going to be easy.
Yeah. No, you don't want to lose this. This can't do it. Hey, Heckma. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to y'all.
Happy New Year.
Appreciate it. Y'all
Everybody that watches. Happy New Year.
Yes, sir.
Jazz. Chris Bean. Everybody here at DallasCowboys.com. Oh, by the way, shout out to our boy, Derek Eagleton. Happy birthday to him yesterday. So good to Mega Man. Derek Eagleton. Good to Mega Man yesterday. All right, that's Players Lounge. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Cowboy Nation, I hope your team wins.
There you go.
That is.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!